Hey, what's going on? Welcome to No Filter, a Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Wizrad, and this is episode 2, being recorded on December 5th, 2017. How is it going, everybody? Yes, already a second episode to the podcast. The main reason being is I want to get some of my predictions out before the Game Awards that I believe is happening on Thursday. So I want to make sure I could get some of these predictions out beforehand, and I really wanted to give you guys my thoughts on Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So before we start here, guys, please, if you're supporting the podcast, if you like this content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, No Filter, a Nintendo Podcast. Follow me on Twitter if you want to hear about any new podcasts that are up. And also, if you have any questions or anything you want to provide to me, any feedback, either leave in the comment section below on the YouTube channel or send me an email at nofilter_wizrad@hotmail.com. So the first segment is what I'd like to call the news, where we just go over some of the key topics that have happened over the last week. So the first topic that I actually noticed on Twitter that I really wanted to bring up, I just thought this was pretty hilarious to me, and something I've noticed in a lot of Nintendo games over the years, but just never really put together a pattern that someone in Treehouse or Nintendo UK or wherever it is, in Nintendo games such as Breath of the Wild, Paper Mario, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, they have all these hilarious references to wives leaving their husbands or divorce, and it's just hilarious thinking that some miserable or really maybe just some grateful Nintendo Treehouse guy is working on the translation and on localizing the game, and then he just fits in these same jokes over and over. It is pretty hilarious here. So again, if you guys followed me on Twitter, I retweeted this one tweet from here. I should probably find out the guy's name. Ultra Xeno Doof 2 Electivirus, I believe is his actual handle. Yeah, so he had all these photos of these localized terms in these games that this guy is referencing a wife leaving the husband. So the first one here he had was actually in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at the very beginning of the game. I believe I saw this. So it's from Pupunin. It's a Nopon in Argentum. He says, not bad. Wife ran out on me, but apart from that, cannot complain. It doesn't need to be in there. This isn't part of anything special. This isn't a story. It's just thrown in there just for kicks. It's pretty hilarious. He showed me another one here. I have not played Paper Mario Color Splash, but this is pretty funny. It looks like there's a lineup of Toads that are slapping Mario for some reason. And I guess one of the first guys, they say something every time they do it. And then, so he slaps Mario. Mario's pushed back. I don't know if you guys know the animation from Paper Mario, but he's hit back and the Toad's yelling at him, "My wife left me." It's just so funny that they have all this stuff. Last one here that I'm going to show you is from Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's from a journal of various worries. So again, this is just in a journal somewhere in the game, and it says, my wife left me today. The last thing she said to me was, "What's more important, the cuckoos or me?" This is funny stuff. And I saw down in the comment section of this tweet, there's a whole bunch of other ones. There's a lot in Pokemon, which is hilarious, being such a kid-friendly game, and then half of these jokes probably go over their heads. There's some in Earthbound from back in the day. This is an ongoing thing, and I can't. There's no doubt in my mind that Treehouse or just Nintendo are aware of this. Nintendo of America are aware of this. In their games, because it is pretty funny. But I just really want to talk about that one there quickly. The next bit of news is actually regarding Megaman. Who would have thought this would be coming up again? But so apparently for the 30th anniversary of Megaman, Capcom had a stream on the 4th of December, and they announced a few new games, and all of them coming to Switch. So first off is Mega Man 11, announced for Switch, PS4, Xbox One, PC, pretty much everything. The other two announcements are Legacy Collection 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch as well, which, about fucking time. It's like Capcom just leaves all this money off. Switch is literally the platform to bring your games on right now, and the fact that they didn't have this from day one is just absurd to me. Anyway, and another announcement that I found out later after the stream was that Mega Man X through X8, I believe, are coming out summer of 2018, I believe. And that is really, really cool because, I love my, I guess, 8-bit Mega Man games as much as anyone, but, I've never played a Mega Man X game, and everyone always talks to me about that game, those games. So I'm looking forward to getting that. Legacy Collection 2, I might skip it out, honestly. I played through, I think, 4 of the Mega Man games in the first collection, and, it was good for what I liked, but I feel like the quality really started to dip, and then maybe I just got burnt out. I'll probably go back to them at some point. It is nice to have them in a collection like that, but Mega Man X through X8 is probably what I'm most excited about. About Mega Man 11, though, so, I like that they have a new art style going with it. They actually made it seem like they're trying to do something special. It honestly didn't look too amazing to me, like, if they're trying to modernize the game, it doesn't need to be so damn plain. Like even the character design of Mega Man, he looks good. You keep it to like the basic kind of design, I guess, of the Mega Man series. And if they really want to continue off these numbered sequels like this, I guess they don't want to change it too much. But, with Mega Man, I feel like it's the same thing as Sonic, just whereas Sonic has so many games, Mega Man had so few games. But they're both just not doing much with the franchise. You don't see it like you see a Mario or a Zelda where they're innovating and they're bringing all these new things to these games and really making them something special. Whereas how I'm seeing the Sonic and Mega Man games, or at least Mega Man 11 here, it doesn't seem to bring anything new or special. It's like, how I feel like they should have rebooted the Mega Man series right here. With Mega Man, they should have stopped it at 10, have a brand new game just called Mega Man. That's what they should have been doing here. Do something ambitious, something special. But just doing a Mega Man 11 and changing up the art style a little bit, and I don't know, that just does not excite me. I will most likely pick it up at some point depending on the price. But again, I feel like they got to do something more with it. Same with Sonic, it just seems like they're really held back in their creativity or something like that. I did enjoy Lost World, and I like that they changed it up there, but again, it's still keeping that kind of core gameplay that, let's be honest, has been kind of flawed for the most part. Even in like the fantastic, maybe not fantastic, but even in the great game Sonic Colors and Generations, the 3D still had some flaws to it, and they just didn't work that out. I feel like they really need to just reboot both of these franchises and try to do something special with it, like Nintendo's done with so many franchises, or Sony or whatever. They need to do something with it. Anyway, the next bit of news, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the Pro Controller. So apparently, this Pro Controller has a better D-pad. So this is something I haven't talked to, well, obviously I haven't spoken with you guys about it. I've only had one podcast so far, but the D-pad on my Pro Controller, I fucking hate it. It is the worst D-pad I have ever used. Like, something that's really frustrating me with Nintendo here, it's like some Joy-Con issues for some people. I didn't have it myself, but there's that. The Wi-Fi with the Switch, there just seems to be so many little issues in the Switch coming out. I know they kind of rushed the release, and surprisingly, they still had so many great games to come out with it this year. But, just buying a $90, it's $90 in Canada, by the way, $90 Pro Controller, and having a shitty D-pad that they basically confirmed was bad and they needed to address. So yes, apparently I saw this on Spawnwave, really great YouTuber, by the way, guys. If you want your news, go there, especially Nintendo news. But yeah, no, apparently the D-pad's a little bit better. Sadly, I don't think I'm going to be buying this Pro Controller. I do want it just from the collector's aspect and my huge Xenoblade Chronicles fan kind of thing, but I did look for it. I couldn't find it anywhere, and then I'm just like, you know what? If I see one, I might pick it up. But again, man, $90 for it. I just spent $150 on the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Special Edition, so it's quite a bit there to be buying for a new Pro Controller. But hey, better D-pad, because again, the first one is just trash. You click any direction and it'll likely register for the other direction as well. Really, really bad design. And the fact that they don't realize this stuff before they send it out to buying consumers, Nintendo, get your shit together. That pisses me off. And the last bit of news here, guys. So, Mutant Mudds Collection. So, if you guys didn't know, I'm a huge Mutant Mudds fan. I loved Mutant Mudds originally on 3DS. The 3D effect was amazing. Just loved it. Then they had Mutant Mudds Super Challenge. I forget if I played that on 3DS or if it was Wii U. I think I have it on Wii U as well. Yeah, so that's a really good game too, especially with how difficult the game was. It really it's called Super Challenge. But yeah, so Mutant Mudds Collection comes with the original Mutant Mudds Collection, and Mud Blocks, which is actually a reskin of a really great puzzle game on 3DS that I really enjoyed. In fact, I had a review on my old channel about it. Bomb Monkey. So it's actually called Mud Blocks now, and I really enjoyed that. And it actually uses the vertical portrait mode of the Switch for that game. So it's ticking off all these really great boxes for me here, Mutant Mudds Collection. So 100% I'm buying this game again. Jules Watson's I'm a real big fan of all of his games. Chicken Wiggle on 3DS. I don't know if it actually did that well coming out so late with the Switch being all the talk and 3DS just kind of dying down. Chicken Wiggle was great, so I'm definitely supporting with buying the Mutant Mudds Collection, not to mention having it all on Switch, plus getting this new Mud Blocks game. Awesome. And to boot, pre-order it, I think as of December 7th, pre-order the game, 33% off. So if you pre-order the game, you get 33% off. So it's already at a great price, $14.99, then they're dropping 33%. That is unreal. So it's probably going to be like $13-14 in Canada, $9.99 for US. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. So that's the last bit of news I want to talk to you guys about. And next is my impressions on Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So over the weekend of December 1st, I pretty much told all my friends and family that, hey, guys, I am officially cut off this entire weekend. Don't try to talk to me. Don't ask me to go out anywhere. I am 100% all in on Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And probably not the healthiest thing for me. Like on Friday, I went and bought a couple bags of Cheetos and some liters of pop, and I had some Hungry Mans, and I ordered pizza one night, and that was not a healthy weekend, people. But oh my goodness, that just brings me back to like high school days or something, of like just spending all night just playing like a game like that. Over that weekend, I played for over 30 hours. Very little sleep, very little, meal preparation, next to zero social life. That was very interesting, and I probably won't do that again. Probably takes a little bit of toll on your body a little bit, but yeah, man, that was a real blast, and I am completely hooked on this game so far. So yeah, just to kind of get into it. So again, I'm just going to try to avoid spoilers for anybody. I'm just going to talk about the first couple areas and not really go into plot details or anything like that. So don't worry about that, guys. But yeah, so you kind of start off as Rex, and you're just out in a sea of clouds on top of Gramps, as they call him. And yeah, he's just a smaller Titan that Rex is kind of living on top of. And first off, like just about the entire game, I love this setting. All three Xenoblade games right now have a completely different setting involved with each one. The first one was on these giant Titans that you lived in, and you go through each area like that. Whereas Xenoblade Chronicles X was more of like a more widespread landscape on like a forgotten world, and then a forgotten planet. Then for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it has this whole entire sky aesthetic, like you're going throughout clouds. There's a cloud sea instead of actual water. It's such a unique and cool idea, and I wouldn't think anything less of Monolith Soft with how amazing they are at world building. That is why they're one of my favorite developers, and that's why they've created some of my favorite games of all time, including Xenoblade Chronicles and Baten Kaitos. So again, right from the off, I was ecstatic with the setting and the world, and how they kind of built it up through the first 4 chapters that I've gone through, 3 chapters that I've completed, has been fantastic so far. And this truly is bringing back the story kind of progression as they did with the first Xenoblade Chronicles. And the characters, I love the characters so far. Everyone has their own distinct personality. None of them, even the Nopon, is not as annoying as, say, Ricky or Tetsu. Is it Tetsu? Tatsu from Xenoblade Chronicles X. Tora, he's really great as well, and yeah, just everything to do with the story so far, I am 100% I'm in love with. I really, really like where the story is right now, and something special with, I guess, how they're doing the story is these cutscenes are top of the line cutscenes here, guys. Other than a little bit of like the lip sync issue with the translation, the cutscenes are fucking phenomenal. They get me so hyped. Like I'm literally like jumping up and down like in my couch and stuff like that. I'm like, man, this is getting me so fucking pumped right now. It probably has to do with the fantastic music. The music, oh my god, guys, the battle music just in general is unreal. This is the best battle music of any Xenoblade game so far. I haven't seen too many of the areas yet to see about what I think about the environmental music. It is good so far, but I haven't seen all of them yet, or not even close really. But man, yeah, this battle music gets me fucking psyched. I'm loving it, guys. Yeah, and again, like the cutscenes, the voice acting is honestly, like, at first, yes, I was worried. I remember that first trailer with Rex doing his like his war cry. They do have it in here, but not that same one. They've adjusted it to make it sound better, which is good. And I think they just removed that audio from the scene entirely that they showed in the trailers, because I haven't heard that really crazy over the top yelling from Rex as they did in the trailer. So I think they've adjusted based on some criticisms, and obviously, like, I don't understand that. It just seems like such an easy job to me to do translation and get the voices right and all that stuff, and maybe reading the script in English and seeing like, okay, yeah, this might not transfer well into what we're, into our audience in the Americas or in Europe or whatever. So yeah, but other than that, like, again, the voice acting is top of the line here. This is, I think, in my opinion, the best voice acting they've had in a Xenoblade game so far, for sure. And honestly, some of the best for a game like this that I've seen, that's, just being localized from the Japanese version. Yeah, it's very impressive. And like, whoever voices Pyra, beautiful voice, but also just it's stellar performance. I mean, like, really, really good performance. Same with Malos. Yeah, so some of these voice actors are doing some good work here, and it's very believable, and I'm really enjoying it so far. As far as some of the worlds, yeah, no, I love how the progression is right now. They start you off small, they bring you into kind of like a guild, like a trade guild kind of an area, with some, they kind of gradually increase in scale from where you are. And then they unleash you to that classic Xenoblade moment where they had it in like Gower Plains in the first one, and then they had where you're kind of looking into New LA in Xenoblade Chronicles X. They do that here with Gormod and looking at Torgoth, the city. And, in the background, just like in that first trailer, you see the giant fucking, the giant Titan moving its head in the distance. And, oh, it's just so, so cool. And, yeah, I'm really, really, really loving the worlds right now. Again, I've only unlocked 3 main worlds right now, 3 Titans, and each one has been incredibly impressive for me. And I just can't wait to see where they go with the next ones. And I guess next what I want to talk about is the battle system. So the battle system, it definitely takes some getting used to, and I can see how, for the non-gamers out there, the ones that aren't really that great at this stuff, could probably have a little bit of an issue with it, just getting into it. But as soon as you do kind of get a hold of it and you get some practice in, then everything kind of clicks and it goes really smoothly from there. But yeah, I was at I'm at 30 hours and I was still, or 25 hours I think it was, and I was still getting some battle tutorials. This is a deep battle system, and if you put in that little bit of effort, you're gonna get a really engaging bit of battle system here that honestly you almost look forward to every time you battle a new enemy. And that's something that honestly I think the battle system has always been kind of a challenge with these Xenoblade games, because a lot of it is kind of a predetermined set that you might not have to change per enemy. There might be some that you have to telegraph where you're going to hit them from or something like that, but some of the times it is just kind of going through the motions when you fight another enemy. But I feel like this one kind of adds in some change here and some variation that the others didn't have. And I can't say if this is my favorite battle system out of the Xenoblade games. I don't know if it is exactly right now, but again, I'm still going through, through the game. And I do appreciate what the battle system's doing and what it has done so far. What else is there to talk about? Again, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys here. As far as the side quests and stuff like that so far, and I guess just the whole progression of the game, it's really slowly brought you in here into the game. The side quests aren't too overbearing or anything like that, but some of the complaints, let's just go into that. Some of the initial complaints I have here, one of which I think is just absurd. And it's really frustrating. You kind of get a way around it. And I understand maybe why they didn't do it, but I feel like the frustration of not having a map readily available for you, at least like an actual map you can open up and really review clearly, I think was just a mistake and they shouldn't have done this. I understand pulling away the map to make you feel like you're just more exploring and not just following a map the whole time. But there's no easy way to just access a map. There is a fast travel map, I guess you could call it, but it's not really involved. And, you have to go through, you can never just hit X to open up that map. You have to go through a couple menus to then get to that map area where you are. You have to remember where exactly you are on that Titan. Are you in... are you on the shoulder of that Titan, or are you in the lower abdomen of that Titan or something like that? Then you have to make sure you remember where that is. Then you have to click onto that portion of that map. Then you have to find where your icon is. And then, it's just a hassle to try to get to it. And I don't know why. Well, I think I understand why they do that, but I don't think that was a great decision. I feel like for ease of use for the beginners that they try to bring into these games every time and just trying to make it easier for non-proficient JRPG players to get involved, I think that's a really bad idea. That was one of the frustrating things. Another that I've heard other people have, I didn't really have that issue, but some of the side quests, it is annoying that, for example, you start off the side quest, you have this really cool battle that you have to save someone from getting attacked by monsters or something like that. Then all of a sudden you save that person, then they say, "Oh, my arm hurts. Can you please collect 10 of these items for me?" It kind of sucks because that means that these side quests are a little more involved, which is good, I guess, and has some sort of a story to them. But, sometimes you just want to finish the side quest, and sometimes you just want to focus on the ones that aren't involving just collecting items around the world. For me, again, I don't think that's too much of an issue. I haven't had a problem with it, because usually what I do is as soon as I get to that part, then I just pretty much leave that side quest, don't do that one anymore. And then by the time I go back to it, I would have already probably collected all those items anyway. And then I feel good because I'm getting these side quests just bam, 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 feeling like I've just finished dozens of these side quests or just a few of these side quests by just playing the game normally. And that's something that Xenoblade Chronicles X did exceedingly well, I found, with their game, apart from the collectibles having these rare spawns that were really annoying. But guys, so I think that's pretty much all I'm going to bring up for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now. I think I touched on pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, some of the gripes, but again, mainly this has been incredibly positive, and even just recording this right now, I'm thinking, man, what the fuck am I doing? I could be playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now, So, I don't know, I think the rest of my life for the rest of 2017 is just going to be all Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and honestly, I can't be more happy for that, so, so that's pretty exciting. This next segment is my personal favorite, and I like to call it the No Filter Rant. This rant is going to stay on the topic of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. However, this one's going to be a little more busty, should I say, or a little more well endowed. So obviously you guys know that Pyra is quite well endowed in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and apparently a lot of people have issue with these Tiggle Bitties. There's a lot of complaining going on about the anime boobs in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and the portrayal of women in these video games, these fucking anime characters and their boobs in video games. Yeah, it sounds stupid, doesn't it? But evidently it's quite large and it's everywhere. I see it everywhere on the Twitter sphere. There's YouTube videos and blah, 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 but all this kind of crap. So where I want to start off here is in my last No Filter rant about the Kotaku review of Xenoblade Chronicles from the guy Jason Schreier. I guess after he did his review, he had another post complaining about the shots in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and how they emphasize certain parts of the female body. So he shows a picture where it's an emotional moment and they're pretty much zoomed in on Pyra's chest. Not entirely. They're still shifting, they're still moving, and yeah, what the fuck is the problem, people? Like, these are anime fucking characters with their anime fucking boobs in a goddamn video game. What the hell is the problem here? Not to mention, this literally happens in every single fucking game. And I guess it's not an issue when some of these other games do it, but when these anime-ass anime characters have a camera somewhat zoomed in on a chest, all of a sudden it is a really horrible thing. I don't know if it's just because it's a Nintendo thing, but look at... Here's one comment I put onto that Twitter post from him. I'm like, well, look at the fucking Uncharted series. You don't think they zoom in on fucking Chloe or all these people's fucking asses when they're walking around? Hell, they do it to fucking Nathan Drake for the females playing the game. Same thing with Xenoblade Chronicles here. They zoom in. Are we going to be in an uproar every time they zoom in on the guy's fucking bicep? Like, I don't fucking understand this shit. Like, PC is getting way too fucking PC. Like, I understand being politically correct in some ways, but this is just fucking stupid. Like, anyway, okay, let's just get going here. So, one of the other things I saw with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was, I guess, a blade, one of the random rare blades that you can get in the game, and her name was Dahlia, and yeah, she had some really odd, creepy proportions to her. Basically, her chest was just massive, and her whole chest was kind of pushed forward. Her back was kind of pulled forward and kind of in an awkward angle, and her ass is sticking out at the back. So basically, she looks like she's just a big, giant curve, like a vert ramp or something in skateboarding. And yeah, it just looked fucking creepy. Holy shit. And then I follow Derek Bittner from Game Explain, and he had another post about her creepy heels that a lot of people weren't focusing on. Man, this is such a creepy design. But like, there's no issue with the breast. Like, who cares? Like, this is not a human character. It's an anime-ass anime blade. It's not even a fucking human. And who gives a shit? It's not showing nipple. It's not doing anything else. It looks fucking weird. It looks creepy. So what are you trying to say? People are trying to... I don't know. I don't get it. And I think it's just stupid. It's just creepy. That's all that was. There was nothing else to it. This unrealistic hypersexuality of females. Man, the same thing can be said about any fucking character ever. And it's a fucking anime character. What do you want from it? I don't know. And okay, how about this? Unrealistic hypersexuality of females, right? What about the ladies that actually do look like this? Are you trying to then degrade those women that do have big breasts and big asses or whatever? Are you now trying to degrade them because you're fucking sitting down in your basement getting all fat and not fucking... I don't know. It's... there's so much crap that kind of goes around whenever people have issue with this, but I'm like, okay, what if someone does have big breasts? All of a sudden now, hey, they shouldn't be the ones portrayed. We have to... No, you're degrading them now. So what are you going to say to that? Again, it's just such a stupid topic to even talk about, and I just don't see... Just fuck off with the bullshit about, how females are being portrayed here with an anime-ass anime game. I guess one other thing I wanted to talk about here, that whole thing was probably just fucking incoherent, wasn't it? I don't know what I'm saying. But last thing I want to say about this is just kind of Nintendo in this whole thing. I feel like, yeah, maybe this is a Nintendo thing, and people are just kind of bringing it up because it's a Nintendo game published by Nintendo, brought to America without censorship, which is really cool. But yeah, man, like how I see this, I feel like it's just Kimishima comes in, he's like, okay, we're going to fix some stuff here in Nintendo. We don't give zero fucks anymore about catering to, hiding certain games from certain people and censoring this and doing that. Like, you've seen it already this year with, like, the emphasis on ass and, like, arms, for example, with, Twintel and stuff like that. And it honestly could probably just be the internet carrying away from that. But, Nintendo isn't hindering themselves with making these games. They're making the games the best they can and let the games speak for themselves. They're not blocking themselves anymore from doing this, And I hope that this kind of happens and goes throughout the rest of Nintendo's practices, They're not stopping this stuff anymore, and hopefully that means that their online will get better. They'll have voice chat. They say, hey, you know what? Parents, do your fucking job. We're not going to try to protect your kids from going on here. We gave you the parental controls, that app on their phone. You know what? You guys can figure out how to, take care of your kids. We will do what we can, but we're not going to prevent that from creating the best gameplay experience possible. That's how I see this. And honestly, the Tickle Bitties is one of the first steps. Again, like, there's no reason to censor this shit. Put it on ESRB. Nintendo, that your demographic range is huge. There's not going to be all these 10-year-olds buying this game and being able to go through all this shit. This is going to be like, well, to be fair, there probably are going to be 10-year-olds, but this is for the hardcore Nintendo crowd, and they're going to be playing these games, and you don't need to hinder that and block their experience for the few kids that might pick it up who have some shit ass parents that don't take care of them. It's not your goddamn business. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for that. Again, I feel like a lot of the whole boobs in games and all this kind of shit in the ass in games and how it's sexualizing women or whatever. Again, let's play it fair. Like, play the cards fair here. Same thing could be said about dudes with shit like that. They're starting to put that kind of stuff in games for women. You don't see guys complaining about this shit. Or what about the fat lazy? What about the fat lazy white guy? Why is he always portrayed as the guy who's just there for comic relief or something in games? What about that? Like, should the white man have these fucking, like, jump backs of, like, political correctness saying, hey, why are we portrayed as evil all the time, blah blah blah? I don't know. Like, it's probably the whole political sphere now and how this is transcending into pop culture and everything around us, everything mainstream. It could be anything, but I don't know. Settle down with this stuff. It's a fucking video game with anime characters. They're going to have some goddamn tits on them, Whatever. You know what? I probably offended enough people already. I'm going to stop. So, the next and final segment is what I like to call hot matches. So for this segment, I'm going to go over all of the Game Awards categories, Game of the Year, Best Switch Game, blah blah blah, going all the way down, and I'm just going to give what I anticipate will win, not what my opinion is of what I think should win. So I'm going by what I think will win, and then in the next episode, next podcast, we can look back on the Game Awards and see how close I was. So let's get started here. Actually, first off, before we really get going here, I wanted to talk about just, again, the Game Awards in general. It seems like this is going to be something special. So again, hopefully Jeff Keighley kind of pulls it off, but it seems like Nintendo's pretty excited for it. I've seen they've been tweeting about it, and it's pretty exciting to see. Maybe I've been hearing some rumblings around, and apparently Nintendo may be showing off the Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC at the Game Awards. And what I'm anticipating is a December 25th release. I'm anticipating something like that, maybe like 26th, 27th, something like that. But I feel like, you know what, Nintendo, I think they've made pretty much every single deadline they've put for themselves this year, every single release date. And you know what, I feel like they're going to end off the year with a literal bang of bam, like, hey, here is the Zelda DLC. So, hey, that's pretty exciting. And yeah, okay, let's get started here. So, Game of the Year for the Game Awards. They have Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn. So, this year, all I've played is Switch, 3DS, Vita, and PS3 games. So I have not played PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I have not played Persona 5, and I have not played Horizon Zero Dawn yet. Again, I am really looking forward to getting my PS4 Boxing Day this year, the 26th of December, and Persona 5 will be the first game I play, followed by Horizon Zero Dawn. So I don't have my opinion on those, but nor do I think those will actually win the Game of the Year here. I think there's so much draw with Nintendo and the Switch right now. If this was any other year and Nintendo had 2 games, I would say almost guaranteed that they would have chose something else, because let's be honest, the Game Awards have always been pretty anti-Nintendo. I see Nintendo putting effort to try to get back in there. You know, I noticed before, you know, they had that one announcement. I forget how many years ago it was, but they had the announcement at the Game Awards and stuff like that, and they had, you know, Miyamoto playing with Imagine Dragons and all that kind of stuff, or Koji Kondo playing there, and you know, it's always been super biased against Nintendo. Let's, you know, no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But yeah, this Game of the Year, I think it's going to go to Breath of the Wild. You know, that's my anticipation. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I'm not that big into the PC gaming scene, at least not right now. But I have watched some streams of it, and I really like the idea of it. It should not be a fucking Game of the Year contender. That's almost a slap to the face of these other 4 games that clearly had a lot of effort and time and, you know, ingenious creativity and all that kind of stuff put into it. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds should not be here. First off, it's an early access game still. Plus, it's nothing fucking special. There's one big map. The thing that really is interesting about this game, and why I want to keep an eye out for it when it comes to consoles, is the whole concept of having the one life, having a battle arena like a Hunger Games type of thing. That is incredibly exciting to me, and you know, I see why so many people like it, but no fucking way should it be sitting beside a Super Mario Odyssey, or a Persona, or you know, especially not a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or, you know, or anything like that. So yeah, no way should that be in there. Next, sorry, that took a little while for that. Best Game Direction is the next. So that's Wolfenstein 2, Resident Evil 7, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, or Horizon Zero Dawn. So it's awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. I think there is absolutely zero... this 100% should be going to Breath of the Wild. With creative vision and innovation in the open world genre, which is so large and big right here, I feel like this has to be the one that wins it, and I feel like they're gonna get that right as well. Just seeing how much of a change that kind of brought to everything and how unique the world was, I feel like, yeah, it has to be Zelda. Horizon Zero Dawn, from what I understand, I don't think it did much different with it. Odyssey is really cool, but again, I don't think it's anything too crazy. Wolfenstein 2, I'm really looking forward to. I've heard good things. And Resident Evil 7, I've heard good things as well. I probably won't end up buying it. But yeah, for me, I think Zelda's going to win that one. Best Narrative. So yeah, again, these are some games that I really need to play, mainly Nier Automata. I feel like that actually might win this for narrative. I haven't played it yet. I can't wait to give it a go. You know, you guys know I love my Platinum games, but yeah, I think Nier Automata is going to take it over Wolfenstein 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, What Remains of Edith Finch, haven't even heard of that one, and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Yeah, Nier Automata, I've always heard the narrative's amazing. The story is really, really fascinating, really cool. So it's nice to see these type of games getting brought into the Game Awards. I just find it interesting that these games now pop up when they're a PS4 game, you know? It's a good thing to see either way, but it's funny when they would skip it, these type of games when they'd be on a Nintendo system and they wouldn't even think about putting it in the lineup. Just like this game up here, Cuphead. Clearly, I think Cuphead's going to win Best Art Direction. In what I've seen so far, I would almost want to say Persona 5 with just how slick everything is. But yeah, Cuphead, I think 100% Best Art Direction. Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, Breath of the Wild, or Destiny 2. Like, these are all really great art directions, but come on, like, there's no way Cuphead isn't going to win. So that's my guess for that. Holy Jesus, this one's going to be tough. Best score / music. Destiny 2, Cuphead, Nier Automata, Persona 5, Super Mario Odyssey, or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Holy shit, guys. So, I've listened to Cuphead a little bit. I don't think that's going to win, though. I feel like it's going to get art direction, nothing else in the game of the year. Maybe best Xbox game. Destiny 2, I don't see that happening. Nier Automata, I can see that. The rest, all 4 of these ones, Persona 5, Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and Nier Automata, I could totally see winning this. But, man, like, I have, like, all these Persona 5 songs already, like, in my playlist. I'm always listening to those songs. Odyssey has some fantastic music as well. Breath of the Wild, a lot of people try to, again, like, some of these Nintendo games get scrutinized for the dumbest shit, whereas other games would never get scrutinized for that kind of stuff. Breath of the Wild, people try to say it doesn't have good music at all, or like any music, and that's just because they have some environmental stuff. But no, like, the actual music in it is fantastic. But if I was going to anticipate which is the best score or music, I would. It's split between Odyssey or Persona 5, and I think they might have Persona 5 win this because, yeah, I think it's going to be Persona 5 that wins. I think they'll give it to that. Best audio design, 100%, it has to be Breath of the Wild. I could maybe see Resident Evil 7. Again, I haven't played it, though, but I could see that being a horror game and how cool it is, and with, like, the VR aspect of it, too, how they would have the sound design really top-notch, but I feel like it almost has to be Breath of the Wild. How everything kind of blends in together and how everything kind of works like that. I think, yeah, it's got to be Breath of the Wild for me. Well, not for me, but that's my guess. Best performance. So, yeah, this is cool. So I did look at this before. Obviously, I have no idea about these people. I don't think many people played Uncharted The Lost Legacy or anything like that. So how I see this, I feel like it's either going to be Brian Bloom for Wolfenstein 2 or Ashley Birch for Horizon Zero Dawn. And I think that is so cool. That pumps me up even more for Horizon Zero Dawn, because I remember Ashley Birch in the YouTube series Hey Ash, What You Playing? And man, she's cute now. Holy shit. But yeah, so she's Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn. That is so cool. I'm so, like, this whole year's been so packed with Switch games and stuff like that, and I didn't have a PS4 yet. Next year, man, I have so many PS4 games I can buy, and they're all going to be at discounted prices. I am so excited for this. And yeah, that's my guess. Ashley Birch, Horizon Zero Dawn. That is super cool, and that's my guess. I feel like she has some cult following that could get her there, but Brian Bloom for Wolfenstein 2, like, the production value in that is pretty insane. All right, games for impact category. I literally only know Life is Strange here and Hellblade, I guess. I'm guessing Life is Strange because I guess that's the only one I can guess that I have any idea of. Best ongoing game. Okay, cool. Award to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Okay. The fact that Splatoon 2 isn't in this pisses me the fuck off. Seriously. Splatoon 2 with all the new mode coming in, all the new maps, how everything develops from there, the new guns, the new everything. 100% Splatoon 2 should be in this. What the fuck? Anyway, these do seem like a good category for it, and I feel like Grand Theft Auto Online or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds are going to win this. It's between those two, Destiny 2, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, or Warframe. I feel like Grand Theft Auto Online is such a beast right now. I feel like that just might take it because how many people are still playing that consecutively, and how many how many games it sells still to this day. Warframe, no, don't know too much about. Destiny 2, I don't think it's going to win much this year. Rainbow Six Siege apparently is doing pretty well, but I don't think that's going to win it. Overwatch, pretty cool, but PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I feel like when this doesn't win Game of the Year or anything like that, I feel like this might be one they kind of give to it just to say that, hey, you did win something. But yeah, I think it's going to be, you know what, yeah, I'm going to say it's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Best mobile game. Okay, so Fire Emblem Heroes, Super Mario Run, Old Man's Journey, Monument Valley 2, or Hidden Folks. So yeah, I guess they don't include Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which I have played a little bit, and so far I really liked it, but I've never been the hugest Animal Crossing fan. I feel like I'm going to wait for my Animal Crossing fix to be the full game on a Switch. But, for this one, I feel like they're not... I don't think Super Mario Run's going to get it. I feel like it's either going to be Monument Valley 2 or Fire Emblem Heroes. I can just see them not wanting to give it to a Nintendo game. So I feel like, yeah, it's going to be Monument Valley. That's my guess. But what I think should be is Fire Emblem Heroes for how well it's doing and how well it still is doing. That's pretty impressive. Best handheld game. So, man, there's some actual pretty good 3DS games out this year. I feel like they're going to give it to Metroid Samus Returns. Yeah, not saying that is the best one there, but to be honest, that's the only game out of the 5 I've played. There's Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, Monster Hunter Stories, the Samus Returns, Ever Oasis, and Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia. This makes me sad because I do want to play these games, but it's just so tough to try to go back to 3DS. You know, I've been trying to play the Layton game on 3DS for the long time now, and it just aches me to try to get playing on 3DS when I have the Switch right there, you know? But yeah, you know, my guess is Metroid Samus Returns. I've heard fantastic things about Monster Hunter Stories. I've heard really good things about Ever Oasis, and especially I've heard good things about Fire Emblem Echoes. So that could be tough, but yeah, I'm going with Metroid Samus Returns. I feel like they'll be really itching to get that fan vote here to say that Metroid won, something like that. So. Best VR/AR game. I don't have a VR headset. I have one of those cheap Android ones that I've used before, but I'm going to say Resident Evil 7. I feel like that is a well-known game that could win something like this, and I've heard really good things about it, actually, so that could win. Best action game. I don't think Prey will get it. I don't think Neo will get it. I say it's going to be between Wolfenstein 2 or Destiny 2, and I think this is where Wolfenstein 2 is going to win Best Action Game. Again, I feel like they're going to try to split up most of these. Best Action Adventure Game. Again, like just how I see the Game Awards and how they do this, I don't think they actually just give it to the best one. I feel like this one, they want to split up as much as they can, and I feel like this one they'll actually give to like an Assassin's Creed Origins or maybe a Horizon Zero Dawn if it didn't win Game of the Year. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say Horizon Zero Dawn gets Best Action Adventure Game, even though, yeah, no, I think that's, yeah, I'm not going to go into my own thing, but yeah, I feel like, again, I haven't played it, but I feel like Horizon Zero Dawn might win this if it doesn't win the other one, any other kind of categories. Best Role-Playing Game. I feel like this one's Persona 5 for sure. I didn't know Nier Automata was considered an RPG. I feel like they're just kind of throwing that in there to put it in more spots. But yeah, I'm saying Persona 5 for best role-playing game. Final Fantasy 15, unless Square Enix has a big presence at the Game Awards, I don't think they're going to win it for that. I feel like Persona 5 deserves to win something like this. I've heard really great things, and again, I'm super excited for it. But yeah, I feel like they'll think it deserves to win it, so I feel like that's what they'll give it. Best fighting game. Oh man, ARMS is in here. That's really nice. I think the best fighting game is going to be Tekken 7. I've heard really great things about this game, and I would love to see ARMS win it because it is so unique and special. But yeah, I feel like Tekken 7 is going to win this. Best family game. Man. Oh man, this is tough. Okay. Splatoon 2, Sonic Mania, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or Super Mario Odyssey. Okay, I know what should win, but what will they make win? I don't think they're going to have Super Mario Odyssey win this. For family game, I feel like they're going to want to have multiple people playing it. And Splatoon 2 they put as a family game. Okay, I'm going to go with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm going to say Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Okay, you know what? No, never mind. Okay, shit. Okay, I'm jumping back and forth so many times. Okay, you know what? My guess is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because you can play it with 4 players. You can play it with, I think, can't you play with like 8 players or something? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Even though it was released on Wii originally, I feel like they'll still say that. It's nice to see Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. They should definitely have it in more spots, which is why I think it will win Best Strategy Game. Please, I know that they hate Nintendo and they don't want to have a Ubisoft thing like that, but it's gotta be Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle for Best Strategy Game. That game was fantastic, so up and above everyone's expectations, and yeah, that's gotta win for Best Strategy Game. Best Sports and Racing Game. Oh, I could give a shit about any of these. It's probably gonna be Forza Motorsport 7. There you go. Unless EA's there and they want their FIFA 18. But yeah, I'm going to say Forza. Best multiplayer. Okay, I feel like this is going to be either the Destiny 2 or the PUBG. Splatoon 2, nice to see it there. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Again, I feel like they don't want to give a game that was out in, what was it, 2014 or something? 2015 maybe? Yeah, I feel like they don't want to give that to a game like that. So I'll say PUBG wins best multiplayer. Most anticipated game presented by McCafe. Of course they don't want to put any Nintendo game there, but yeah, so most anticipated. It's gonna be Last of Us Part 2. Either that or God of War. But yeah, Last of Us Part 2. And I'll just say right now, that's my most anticipated out of the 5 they show there. Oh shit, but Monster Hunter, and Red Dead Redemption 2. This is a tough category, guys, but I'm still gonna say Last of Us Part 2. Best independent game. Okay, fuck off with. Oh, okay. Some of these picks, guys. Yeah, best independent game. I'm gonna go with Cuphead. Best student game. I have absolutely zero idea, so I'm literally gonna do any mini money mo. Any mini money mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Any mini money mo. Hollowed's gonna win. Trending gamer. I'm gonna pick Andrea Renee because she's cute, and I saw her at the Nintendo World Championships. Best esports game. Holy fuck, how many categories do they have? This segment's almost 20 minutes. Best esports game. I don't know esports. I know Overwatch and I know Rocket League. I have friends that play League of Legends. I'm gonna just have to go with League of Legends. Yeah. Best esport player. I don't give a fuck, but I'm still gonna guess. Okay, what are their code names? Let's go with that. So Kurokai, Ryujiang, Naiko, Coldzera, and Faker. I'm going with fucking Faker. Yeah. Faker's gonna win this shit. Best esports. Oh, Jesus Christ! Why are these even? Anyway, fuck. I see FaZe everywhere, so yeah, they're gonna win, I guess. Whatever. Best debut indie game presented by Chic Hydro. It's gonna be Hollow Knight. Oh shit! But then they have Golf Story and Cuphead. Mr. Shifty was decent. Slime Rancher, don't really know. Hollow Knight, I hear great things. Golf Story was amazing, but I boycotted initially until the price dropped because they upped the price in Canada more than what it would have been with the actual exchange rate. Shit, so it's between Cuphead and Hollow Knight. I'm going to say Cuphead. I think Cuphead's going to win quite a few categories, actually. Best Chinese game, Monument Valley 2, and that's it. Holy shit, guys, that was a lot of categories. I gotta end this segment off quick. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's my guesses. So look forward to the next podcast, and that's when you'll be seeing how incorrect and wrong I was about pretty much every category. And that's the end of the podcast, people. I want to thank you all for watching No Filter, a Nintendo podcast, episode 2. Yeah, please, if you guys want to support, please subscribe on my YouTube channel. Please follow myself at Twitter at Wizrad. And, send any questions or any advice you have for me or anything you guys want to bring up to my email, nofilter_wizrad@hotmail.com. Again, I really appreciate the support. And, I would love to see as much community involvement as possible. Just seeing comments to know that you guys are listening to the whole podcast kind of a thing would really be really nice to hear. How about that? Yeah, if any of you are listening all the way to the end, in the start of your comment, put blueberry bosoms. Yeah, put blueberry bosoms, then I'll know that you actually listened right to the end, and you win a cookie. How about that? Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next podcast episode following the Game Awards Thursday this week.